Hello everybody. I saw on a Reddit thread about a tier list someone made for characters that they would give hugs to, and I thought it would be fun to take that and make it into a tier list of who I think would actually give the best hugs in Overwatch, just based on lore and not necessarily the character in the game. The first character is Bastion. And I feel like Bastion, he would try his best to give you a good hug, but I think he's still learning. And so I think he goes in the B tier. He would be okay at it. Cassidy, I feel like I would put him at A. I feel like he would give you a good hug, but he probably is smelly because he smokes all the time and he's probably really sweaty. So I don't know if that's what you're into, you know. Diva, I feel like Diva is like, I want to put her in S. Partly because I'm biased. She was for a long time my Overwatch main. I think she's just, you know, she's a girl. A girl's girl, right? She's a bestie. I could see her really giving a good hug to comfort people. And Genji, Blackwatch Genji, he would kill you. He would not give you a hug. Before Genji became a cyborg, I think he'd probably give you really good hugs. If I remember correctly, he was like, what, a womanizer or something? He was a big troublemaker. On his path to healing, I think he would be okay at hugs. I think he still has to work on himself a little bit. Hanzo, he would not give hugs. I think he's still working on himself, and I really hope we eventually see him start to heal from his past mistakes, but for now, he's not giving any hugs. Junkrat, I want to say he gives the best hugs just because I love him and I think he's just a cutie patootie. But I don't know if he'd give the best hugs or if he would give good hugs. I think he'd give Roadhog good hugs though. I feel like he hugs Roadhog a lot just because that's his bestie, you know. So I'm going to put him in A just because selfishly I really like him. Lucio, of course, is an S. He is the best hugger. He is comfort, Lucio. Same with Mei. I think she gives a lot of hugs. I think she gets a lot of hugs. And honestly, who wouldn't want to be hugged by Mei? Mercy? I feel like Mercy actually wouldn't be that good at hugs. I feel like she'd be more serious. She's probably the kind of person to sit down and talk with you about your feelings, but I think she'd kind of keep like a professional distance. So I'm going to give her C. Pharah, I think she'd be okay at hugs. I feel like her relationship with her mom probably isn't the best, so maybe she doesn't have a lot of practice with hugs, but I think she'd, you know, be okay with it sometimes. Reaper doesn't give hugs. If he were Reyes, if he was still Reyes before Reaper, I feel like he'd probably like be A tier. But right now he's a D tier. I don't think he gives hugs. I don't think he's ready for a hug. He probably needs a hug. Same with Hanzo. I do also hope that we see Reaper come to a redemption or just heal a little bit. I would like to see some kind of character progression like that in Overwatch too. Reinhardt, he's S, of course, you know, he gives the best hugs. He'd probably crush you, but I bet it would, you know, feel like a nice hug before you die. Roadhog, I don't think he gives hugs. I think he lets Junkrat give him hugs, but he's not a hugger. I think if he does hug, it'd probably be like maybe C. But I don't think he's a hugging kind of guy. Soldier, I don't think he gives hugs. If he were still like before Overwatch went down, I feel like he'd probably be like C maybe. Like Mercy, he would keep it professional distance with people he's closer to, like his boyfriend. Like maybe he'd be an A. Right now, he's kind of on that vengeance streak. So yeah, I don't think he's giving hugs to anybody. He probably needs a hug too, honestly though. Symmetra, I'm gonna put her C too. I think if you're her friend, she'd kind of maybe like give you like an awkward pat hug, try to make you feel a little bit better. But I don't think she's actively going out and giving hugs. Torb, I don't think he gives hugs. I think he only hugs his turrets. I don't think he hugs Brigitte. He's not a hugger. But you know, maybe he would be good with his kids. You know, maybe he'd be B or an A, but I don't know. I'm not seeing him giving too many hugs, so I'm gonna put him in a D. Tracer definitely gives the best hugs. She's a sweetheart, and sweethearts give the best hugs. Widow's not giving hugs. You know, she needs a hug. She really needs a hug, but no, she is not giving hugs. What I do like though is that Sigma asks her out on the Paris map and she like politely declines, and I think that's kind of what set people onto the notion that maybe she is on a path of redemption or path of healing, and I think that's really nice interaction. I would like to see her heal. I would like to see her hug Sigma actually, because I think her and Sigma would be really cute. But the fact that Sigma politely takes her not politely declining him is just proof that Sigma is the guy. Anyways, yeah, she needs a hug. She's not giving hugs. She'd probably be like C, maybe. I don't see her being a very loving, forward person like that. Winston, I'm not too sure because he's a monkey? Gorilla? I feel like he'd try to give his best hugs. I feel like he's a very heartfelt person and he'd like to give hugs. I don't know if he'd be the best hugger though, but I'm gonna put him in best hugger because he's that guy. Zarya, I feel like I want to say she'd be C, just because I feel like I could see her giving hugs, but they'd be like too tight, or you could just like really feel her muscles just squeezing into you, and I don't. Maybe she'd like give you like a pat on the back when she's hugging you, so I'm gonna put her in B actually. I feel like maybe she'd give some solid hugs, but I don't know how much of a hugger she'd be. Zenyatta though, like I feel like he wouldn't give hugs, but I'm gonna put him in A tier just because he's that guy. I don't have any other explanation for that. Anna, I don't think she's giving hugs. If she does hug, I feel like she'd be an A, but in the game, in the story, I don't think she's giving out any hugs. She also probably needs a hug. So the D tier is everybody who needs a hug, essentially. I don't think Sombra also gives hugs, but I could see her like really getting along with some of the characters. So I think I'm gonna put her, she would be okay. I feel like she'd hug Sigma, honestly. They're kind of got like a bestie vibe going on, so she's going in B tier. I don't think Orisa knows how to give a hug. I think she would give a hug, and I think she would crush you like Reinhardt. She's just a baby, you know, she's got some learning to do. She's just 1 year old. Doomfist would not give hugs. I don't have anything else to add. He would not give hugs. If he did give hugs, he'd probably give really good hugs though. But in the game, he's probably not going to give you a hug unless he's going to kill you. Moira does not give hugs. Even if she did give hugs, I think she would still be in the D tier. She'd probably like just touch you and just poke you on the shoulder and be like, cheer up. And then go on. Move on. Brigitte, she gives the best hugs for sure, 100%. I'm gonna put her next to Diva because they're girls. They're gal pals. Yeah, she gives the best hugs. I could see her like being like May and put her next to May. I could see her being like May and being a very comforting person. Hammond, I'm not entirely sure where I should put Hammond because he's so tiny. But I'm gonna put him in the S tier because being hugged by a hamster just sounds like a beautiful experience and very fluffy. I would love a hug from Hammond. He's just so cute. When Hammond first released, I was like, I hate the idea of a hamster character. This is so dumb. Then Hammond released and I'm like, he's the cutest guy in all of existence. Blizzard, you're geniuses. Thank you. Ashe, I feel like Ashe, well, she would be okay at giving hugs. Like in her Deadlock Rebels book, she doesn't have like the best family. And I don't think she would be too much of a touchy kind of person, but I do think she would give you a hug if you needed it. But only if you needed it, and not very often. Baptiste 100% is given the best hugs. He is the guy. Along with Sigma, I'm gonna put him up there. He is the guy. Baptiste, he's funny. He has all the right boxes checked. Baptiste is that guy. Always. Sigma, I also feel like would give good hugs. You know, I think he's going through something. So, you know, sometimes maybe he'd be pretty close to killing you when he hugs you. But ultimately, I think he's a kind, caring guy. And I really hope he escapes talent and he finds some healing because the guy really needs it. I don't think FL would give hugs. I think she's still like kind of like growing and learning, and she'd be more interested in like if you're crying and you need a hug, she'd be more interested in why. And eventually when she learns, I feel like she'd be like okay at giving them hugs, but I think she's still got a lot to learn. And Sojourn, I feel like she would, you know, like Mercy and Soldier, have professional distance between herself and other people. But I do feel like she'd give you a hug if you really needed it, because I could see her being a caring, comforting person, but she also needs to heal as well, because she's still, I think from her cinematic, learning to heal and move past Overwatch. It's still kind of in the back of her mind and she just can't let it go, and so she needs to work on that. Junker Queen, I kind of want to put her in A because I feel like she'd actually give you a good hug. But I feel like it would be like Junkrat at the same time, where it would kind of be like a very awkward hug and she'd probably crush you a little bit too much. But I could see her giving hugs. Kiriko, I don't know, my friend's watching, S tier for you, my friend. I feel like these 5 are the best huggers in the game, to be honest. They are the ones. And Ramatra, he's not giving any hugs. He's got to work on himself first. Lifeweaver, he's S tier, because I think he's just a loving person. You can see it in his interactions with the other characters. He's loving, he's a gossip, he's Snoopy, he's getting us all the tea. He's telling you who's giving each other hugs. I don't think Alari would give people hugs either. I don't know her that well, and I feel like Blizzard really hasn't worked on her personality that much yet. Just based on interactions, she seems kind of like a tough girl, but that's kind of like the only voice lines I'm hearing. Like her saying, if you're gonna die, don't do it around me. So I think she's got to work on herself before she's giving hugs. But if she's done working on herself, I think she'd be in like A tier maybe, or S tier. And then Mauga, I put him in here even though he's not technically confirmed yet, but there's just so much Easter eggs on the new map that kind of show he might be coming. So if Mauga is coming, I feel like he would actually give good hugs. I feel like he would be like, this is my bias speaking honestly. I've been waiting for Mauga for a long time. But I feel like Mauga would give good hugs, but if you betray him, like Baptiste did, he would probably kill you. So maybe I should put him, he's okay at giving hugs. But I'm gonna put him in S tier just because of my own bias. So that is my tier list of who I think would give the best hugs and the worst hugs in Overwatch. Do you agree or do you disagree? Who do you think would give the best hugs? Thank you for watching again. I appreciate it.